Good afternoon. For the record, Melvin J. Kudensky, representing the licensees. It would be a general denial.
Sound X number is B0000987589113. Date of birth was 11/30/1987. African American female, via MVA identification and employee records. The management and employee were notified of the violations, and this agent exited the establishment without further incident.
Thank you, Inspector. Any questions?
Yes, according to your report, you said you observed what appeared to be a dancer performing a lap dance. Can you give me a little further explanation what you mean what appeared?
Just based on my proximity, I couldn't be certain.
How far away were they?
60 feet.
And did you ever get any closer?
Yes, I did approach him.
And you said you were there with Inspector Brooks. Was she alongside of you or
Inspector Brooks was actually in front of me.
in front of you?
Yes.
So she was closer than you were?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then you said you observed the, I told you I was going to ask you this question, remember? All right?
Yes.
You said inappropriate touching. What is appropriate touching? Is there such a thing?
I would deem that appropriate touching as any touching that is not strictly prohibited in the code.
In the code, but maybe not in life.
I don't
I mean,
even.
consulting adults can certainly touch each other, can't they?
I'm sure they can.
It seems like, I'm sorry. So you would say that it's all right for consulting adults to touch each other? Okay, there you go. Okay.
Consulting adults?
Consenting, well, if they can consult to consent, conceptually, as we say.
Next
So
question.
why we're here. Along with that, you were able to identify the dancer. Who was the person who she was giving the lap dance to?
I did not record that information.
Did he escape? I mean, did you try to get it, or you just sort of? No, I mean, normally you would ask, sir.
Yes.
Okay, but-
Normally I would. I was not the primary on this recording of the information. However, I did record the dancer's information because she was the primary violator.
And what happened to the dancer? Was she removed?
Normally in instances like this, what I request of management is that they at least, that they send the dancer home for the night. I mean, whether you continue her employment or not is not up to me, but they definitely have to go home for the night.
Is that what happened in this case?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you remember seeing this gentleman here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And he was part of the management team that night? You
Yes.
talked to him?
Yes, sir.
All right. Other than that, were they cooperative?
Yes, they were
Okay.
cooperative.
One thing, and that was a singular incident that you say. Now, when you say that she didn't have any bottoms on and no tops on, did she have anything on?
She had bottoms on.
All right.
She had bottoms. but
And then when
she
you
didn't
said they
have
were
tops.
caressing her breast, she had her clothes on when he was doing, when that.
No, she didn't have any top on at all.
No top either?
No top.
And she had, but had bottoms on?
She had, yeah, like thongs, I think.
Okay. All right. And then when she was removed, did she get dressed
Yes, of course.
right there?
No, not in front of us, no.
No, okay. But I mean, you stopped the action, she went and got dressed, and then, as far as you know, she left.
Yes.
Okay. I have no further questions.
Thank you very much. Any further questions for Inspector Abdul Hamid, Commissioners? All right, thank you very much, Inspector. We'll hear from Inspector Karen Brooks at this time.
Inspector Karen Brooks, Water City Board. I would just add that
That's his
everything
guys
that
up
he
here, they
said
want
is-
you to talk.
is true and correct.
All right, so you are corroborating the events as described by the inspector?
Yes, sir.
And in fact, you were closer to the subject violation, alleged violation, than Inspector Abdul Hamid?
Yes, I'm able to get into clubs a lot faster than Umar, 'cause most of the time they don't see me just walk around.
Okay.
Into the bag and observe the violation. By the time they flip the lights on, and it's pretty obvious what was going on back there.
Inspector Brooks, Inspector Abdul Hamid's report indicates that you, quote, ordered the activity stopped and proceeded to record the violation.
Yes, that's basically gathering the information, license information, make sure employee records were accurate for the young lady, and that's the,
But no actual recording on a cell phone?
oh, no, nothing like that. That's what he does.
Any questions, Commissioners, and we'll turn it over to you.
Yeah, good, I'm sorry, good.
Go ahead, Mr.
All right, and then with this, you don't know who the gentleman was or the other party was?
No, I typically don't get the patron's information.
All right, and when the chairman asked you about that you take pictures. Do you ever take pictures of any activity?
Yes, I do.
But you didn't do in this
I
instance.
have a picture of the young lady that evening once she pulled her top over herself. I do have that picture if you'd like to see it.
No, do you have anything when she didn't, when she was doing the lap dance?
No, because it was dark. Once they flipped the lights on, they could show it on it. That's when I was able to snap a picture.
No, I have no further questions.
All right, thank you very much,
Okay.
Inspector. All right,
All right.
any other testimony, inspectors from any other party? All right, thank you very much, Mr. Hanson.
State your name and address for the record,
I'm
please.
Jaron Avery,
How do you spell that, sir?
Jarrryn,
J-A-R-R-Y,
YN.
and that's your first name, right?
Yes, sir.
Your last name?
Avery.
Avery, okay, thank you. A-V-E-R-Y. Mr. Avery?
All right, now you were on duty that night as the management, is that correct?
Yes.
All right, and with regard to this incident, you had some information. You might as well give it to the board as to what you observed and what happened that night.
Miss Brooks walked in first.
Did you see her?
I saw her.
She didn't slip right by you?
No, I saw her. She came in, walked to the back, started taking pictures immediately. The lady had her stops on. And we had to make her, they said they wanted her to leave. We gave them the information. They said we were going to make her leave for the night. So, any violation or anything like that, we don't tolerate that. You got to get, you got to go. So I told her to go. She proceeded to leave. Went outside, spoke to them. Mr. Omar walked her back down the street about 10 minutes later. Said they weren't going to charge us with anything, and she could come back to work.
Did she come back to work that night?
Yes.
All right, I mean, how about her doing this lap dance, without her bottoms on or so forth like that?
She had her bottoms on.
All right, well, is that something that you allow or condone?
No.
All right, and if you do see that while you're in there, what do you do to the employees?
We fired them immediately.
Okay, but in this case here, you said that after she was walked out, she was allowed to come back in because they brought her back in,
That's correct. They walked her back down to the door.
and that was the end of it.
That was the end of it. I
right.
didn't think we were getting any violations.
Okay. All right, anything further?
All right, I have no questions. Oh, I do. One, Mr. Avery, you were at the door, working at the door that night?
I was inside.
You were inside the door?
Yes.
Okay, but close to the entrance?
At what point?
At the point that Inspector Brooks walked past you as you
She
testified?
walked past me. She walked up to me.
She walked up to you?
That's right.
And where were you when she walked up to you?
When Miss Brooks walked up to me, I was in the doorway.
The
We had two
front
doors.
entrance, okay.
When she came to the front entrance, I was standing there. She said, liquor board. Okay, so we started walking back toward the back.
But you also testified that she
Immediately,
walked straight to the back?
straight to the
Taking
back.
pictures.
That's right. She had her camera out taking pictures.
All right.
They went and looked at the pictures. If the lady had a breast out that was shown on those pictures, we'd be looking at them. But her breast was covered.
All right. Questions, commissioners? None. All right, thank you very much, Mr. Avery.
That would be the sum and substance of the licensee's case. And, I think there's some question here is exactly what happened. And nobody had summoned in the party the young lady that was dancing. She was allowed to come back, which is contrary to normally the rules that were there. It appears today with all the things that you can take pictures with, and I'm sure you'll see other cases where photographs were taken, we don't have that evidence here. I think the charges are multiplicitous in this case also. And you're not talking about a place that has the type of history in front of you that has this type of activity. So I think in all instances here, I think they should be given the benefit of the doubt in this case. I mean, I'm not saying, there's a difference when they say words appeared and so forth. That's exactly what happened in the case. Seems to me real simple. If you walk up to somebody that has their top off and their bottoms off, it don't take a minute or two to go ahead and take the picture, especially if she had to go back and get dressed. That would be the best evidence rule that I know about. And, it seems to me, why did somebody get the name of the person that was there? I mean, is there undercover angel here, CIA, RAGG, MOPP? I don't know what that's all about, but they, it seems like there's more to this than meets the case. Plus, we're in an adult nightclub. You know, what's appropriate touching versus inappropriate touching? I know what the statute says. The question is, and people will raise the validity of the statute, but I think in this case, they deserve the benefit of the doubt.
All right, thank you very much. We're off the record.
No problem. By a preponderance of the evidence, determining that there are some violations here, specifically Article 15, Section 1 of Baltimore City Code regarding patrons, no patron may touch a dancer's breast or chest. And we, based on the facts, the reports, and evidence, we determined that that did happen by a preponderance. We also find a guilty violation to Adult Entertainment Rule 6, in that the adult entertainment business may not permit, whether by dancers, patrons, or otherwise, caressing, fondling, or touching the breast or chest genitals or genital areas. And we believe, once again, that if our inspectors were able to walk in and see it immediately, that there should have been a higher level of administration given to monitor the activity of the dancer and the patron in this regard. Finally, there's a Rule 4.18 indicating that by having violated the city code and other statutes, that's a liquor board violation. We're going to go ahead and dismiss that charge. We're going to go ahead and dismiss that charge. As for the fine under Article 15 violation, it's $500. It's a first offense. And under Adult Entertainment Rule 6, it is a first offense. It is an additional $500 fine, $125 hearing fee for a total of $1,125.
Will your client be able to pay today, or will they be requesting more time?
More time, I hear more time.
How much would you need?
We pay half on Monday and half the following Monday.
That'll be fine. We'll just say,
Let's see. $525 due by Monday, February 4th.
and the additional monies by $600 by February the 11th, close of business. All right, thank you very much, Mr. Sherwood. All right, thank you all. Thank you, Inspector. We're off the record.